at the more than 1,000 refugees who live in Abilene from more than 20 different countries. 33 different languages are spoken in Abilene ISD schools. And they've been in the political spotlight lately as Governor Greg Abbott said Texas would no longer accept refugees in Texas. And KTexas reporter Nick Bradshaw has this story you'll only see on KTexas.
It might not be your typical church service.
This has helped me to worship my God.
But there's a stigma attached to the word foreigner.
I love America a lot.
You see, faith is important for those gathering here. They took a long journey for moments just like this. A game of soccer in the backyard, far from the refugee camps.
It's the land of opportunities.
That's Rejoice, and yes, that's his name, with his brothers and sisters.
I would say you get better jobs here than like where my parents came from.
Look at Rejoice himself, how he is now in United States.
And like any parent, they love to show off their pride and joy.
They eat breakfast, they eat lunch, but the children in the camp, they don't know anything about that.
In 2007, they made the journey to Abilene, originally from the Congo. It's the poorest country in the world. The average wage just under $400 a year. War forced them out.
Shooting the bullets toward us, and is how we were almost to get killed.
Now it's the small things in life, like food on the table, a job.
I was a stranger and you took me in.
An open door to opportunity and worshiping freely. Since 2004, refugees have been resettling in Abilene with the help of the International Rescue Committee.
Our average refugee in Abilene last year was displaced for 21 years, but their vetting process took about 24 months after they were eligible to apply for resettlement.
Reportedly, you sent a letter to Mike Pompeo, the Secretary of State, regarding refugees.
In early January, the governor sent this letter to the federal government saying in 2020, Texas would no longer accept refugees. That's after President Trump allowed states the option to do so.
We have challenges in our state of Texas that must be addressed by these very same nonprofit organizations.
The reality is, stopping refugee resettlement is not going to put more funding into these services because the funding, the way it works, it's designated for a specific group. What happens is we're going to lose that funding for Texas altogether.
Hallelujah. Amen, amen.
But back at the church, for those directly impacted,
We are going to pray for this country, the United States.
they don't agree with Governor Abbott. But here's what's ironic. The majority voted for him.
Governor, I love you and I pray for you.
They're all now American citizens and take their freedom seriously. Rejoicing and celebrating another day of freedom.
And call Texas better home.
Nick Bradshaw, KTexas News.
A federal judge out of Maryland put a temporary stop on that order President Trump put in place, and the International Rescue Committee says refugees are still arriving in Abilene.